was fairly okay. I think
Yeah.
we managed to defend ourselves fairly aggressively without being.
See how it goes. Let's hope for the best. Otherwise, at least we are there on TV. Somebody will come and offer me a role. So I'm done. My life is made.
Well, I think the teams did pretty well.
Yes.
We won't tell you which team did the best just yet. We keep the suspense going. But I think it's only fair that they were innovative. They communicated pretty well. Some of them did not communicate as well as they should have, even though some of them had their points in order. But let them come in now and face the firing squad. So can we have the three teams in, please? The moment of truth. You're standing here in front of us. It might be heartbreaking at the end of it all. There will be two teams that will be in the red, and from those two teams we will select one of you that will leave the show this evening. From the winning team too, if there is one individual that we felt did not perform very well, I could use my option of the pink slip. Normally the winning team does not have an individual that will leave the show. So let me tell you the teams that are in the red and the teams that are safe. Will the yellow team step forward, please? According to Mr. Hiranandani, you all made a good presentation, but according to him, he says you all have won.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So you all are safe. And let me add that right away, I'm not using the pink slip on any one of you. So you all can step aside.
But I want to say something about it.
Please.
Yes, you conceptually came out the best, but what was really missing was that you really didn't pack the punch. So I would have, if I had those facts the way you had, I would have been able to do a much more stronger presentation because your facts were very there.
According to him, 95% of points were covered, valid points were covered. Just 2 or 3 points, one or two points that were not covered, and he kind of grilled you on that. And that was affordability, and you somehow came through, which is great. Which brings us to the other two teams, black team and the red team. Would you like to tell them how they did, black team and red team?
I'll start with the red team first. I think you made a valid presentation. You had your concepts correct. But from where you really didn't get correctly was the fact that on the ground, a lot of things are different than what you conceive in your mind. Many of the points that you made in respect of how the strategy would work, the sizes which would work, the locations they would work, actually will not work in reality. A lot of your concepts which were correct, idealistic and right, really did not match with the reality. So I want to congratulate you that you did have the concepts correct, but some of those things which are distant from reality, we could have to give you negative marks on.
I'd like to know if you all were all in on it together. Were there any disputes? Were there any arguments? Did you feel any one of you?
Not in our team. Our team, we were quite clear in what was the strategy. We had a concept.
You're all in agreement.
We were all in agreement of the.
What about you, black team?
There was no argument.
What was the argument about?
Yeah, I think the argument was about the fact that should we include the restructuring of tier 1, tier 2 cities to address the problem within the high employability regions upfront. But then the whole point was that we would also seem like we're all over the place. We're not taking a stance on a particular strategy in terms of a long-term vision, address the rural and tier 3, 4. I think that question did come up when Sir mentioned, okay, well, how would you solve the problem? So I immediately brought up those points because initially I was quite bullish on those points and we did discuss. So that was the argument.
And you feel that was strategically a mistake?
I don't think so. I think we took a stance on cutting the problem at its root source, and we clarified why we did that. So we had thought through the problem, and that came out when we were in the question and answer session. So I don't think it was a strategic mistake. It's just a choice. It's a risk we took, and I think we were able to handle the situation.
Okay, fair enough. What about you guys?
I think we made a good presentation.
I've got something to say. I asked them to step forward, and they were safe. This time around, I'm asking you all to step forward. Please. Shall I tell you that maybe you are the losing team? You all are safe. Step aside, please.
We won, and there is no surprise in it because this is a winning team, and we will always win.
I think we had the best presentation amongst the lot. We're safe. We are second. So
The important thing is we're safe. We're back in the game.
And let the black team step forward now. Okay, Mr. Hiranandani, would you like to say something to them?
Yeah, the concept is correct in terms of overall ideas. What we really have to see is what's happening in the reality on the ground. So when we say there's a housing problem, if we say that we're going to make everything in the tier 3 and have those demographics too, it's a very good idea, and the government is doing it. You're absolutely right. But it doesn't give a solution to a problem that exists today. The fact that you have to address the issues which are there very, very strongly as a strong proposition of tier 1 and tier 2 is going to do it. And tier 3 and those aspects of it really becomes the backbone to prevent future problems of real estate to take place. So yes, you have thought correctly, but it's not the solution to the issues and tasks that was put on the table.
You think you're going to stay on the show tonight?
Well, if you...
No, you're absolutely safe.
Oh, I can't just guarantee that I'm absolutely safe, because all three are right there. The thing is
Valerie,
I think I'm absolutely safe.
Why do you say
no
that,
question. Because I know 100% that I was a very high performer on the team. I know I have the capacity to win.
Would you agree with
entire
that? Competition. Has
Competition.
she been a high performer on the team?
She contributed a lot, yes.
A lot.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Akshay, but there was a very stark difference in contribution and confidence going into the presentation, with Akshay unfortunately being the weak link.
Yes, I would think so. I think on
Do you agree?
I absolutely do not agree, because the whole idea that we had put forward, that was first of all my idea itself.
Tell me, Kunal, why do you think you're going to be on the show?
No, I think I'm pretty confident I'm going to be on the show, because the way I worked as part of the team, I think I performed really well. I actually got down.
Would you support that? Do you think you worked very well and contributed well?
I'd say over-strategize.
Over-strategize. What do you have to say?
I think you performed very well.
He performed very well. We have two people in agreement with each other and one not. But honestly, in many ways, you all are assessing yourselves, and you're assessing yourselves pretty honestly, I must add. But what matters really is what Mr. Hiranandani, with a little bit of my inputs, has to say and what he has said, along with me. Fair enough. So I'm going to come up there and shake a hand and tell one of you that that's the golden handshake and one of you are outpitched today. I'm standing up. I think it's only fair that, whatever you all are saying about each other has to be very honest, because it's all on tape. Remember that. And when an icon such as Mr. Hiranandani says what he has to say, it only has to support that. Right? I'm coming forward and I'm going to shake a hand.
Come forward faster.
I don't know to step forward. It's really heartbreaking, honestly. It really is heartbreaking. It's not a very easy thing to do. But this is the real world. It's not a movie. Goodbye, you did good.
Thank you, sir. I guess my team went wrong because it was not exactly a team effort, because when you work in a team, you know what everyone has done.
It was close. I don't know. I didn't think I over-strategized like Akshay said. I don't know. Maybe I need to ask him why he felt so. That's feedback for me. But I didn't think really that he over-strategized. I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I don't think you did either.
Akshay, you feel it's just the team, or you would like to be a little more candid?
It is actually just the team that I was working with, because
How come the other two guys survived, you felt?
just by speaking more.
Speaking more?
Yeah, because
You feel you need to speak more?
absolutely.
Give me one point that you can say that, yes, maybe this is it that I did wrong. A lot of youngsters out there watching this program, and I think you will also learn from the process.
Absolutely.
So what is it?
The point was that I gave them the opportunity to take that stuff and present it themselves. I should have done that myself.
What's in it for you from here? Where do you go? Where does your life take you?
When I just come to this show, I was still like, yes, I have a brilliant idea. I'm working on it. I'm seeing results. Is it good enough to actually make it that big? Being in the top 10 as well,
Yeah.
it's given me the confidence. In fact,
But doesn't make your idea bad. Your idea probably
Exactly.
might be the best idea. That's good, yeah.
this is
So-
going to motivate me even more now to strike back even bigger.
Thank you, well said. Well, in this life, Akshay, there'll be a lot of ladders and a hell of a lot of snakes. And may you juggle them, the snakes, and may you saw all those ladders to reach that mountaintop that you've been wanting to reach. I wish you the very best. You did great. So that brings us to the end of another episode of The Pitch. We are now down to 8. Oof, that was difficult. But see you next week with India's best budding entrepreneurs, India's greatest business icons, and of course, me. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, both.
Thank you very much, sir.
What did we do wrong 10 years ago? Where should we aim to be? What is our objective? And what should we do to reach that?
All 4 teams did extremely well. Some didn't do as well as the others. And we have to say goodbye to one of you. We'll find out in a minute.